Hey yo. Pound, round for round, still claiming champion. Yeah. Pound for pound, round for round, still claiming champion. Yeah. Pound for pound, round for round, still claiming champion. Yeah. Still claiming champion. Yeah. Still claiming champion. Pound for pound, round for round, still claiming champion. Yeah. Pound for pound, round for round, still claiming champion. Pound for pound, round for round, still claiming champion. Yeah. Still claiming champion. Undisputed.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to Bare Knuckle Insiders. My name is Matt. Right over here is the lovely and amazing Britton O'Bannon, and we are the Bare Knuckle Insiders.
We are.
We are. And so are you.
Good.
Right? But if you're watching this show, you are now officially a Bare Knuckle Insider, because this show is not about me. It's not about Britton. I mean, it kind of is. I mean, but
it is. Let's be honest.
Okay. But we want you guys to be a part of this show, and we want to have fun with our people, which is all of you. So we want to talk a little bit. And first of all, I'm really excited about tonight's show. How do you feel?
Okay. Super excited.
So, all right. And you guys are going to, okay, we named it Bare Knuckle Insiders for a reason, and we knew that it was going to be something a little bit different than what you guys are used to seeing, and all of that came into fruition within the last hour, maybe 30 minutes.
I would say 30 minutes, and that's
hour.
Yeah.
So, look, we've got a great show lined up for you guys. I think at least the last half of the show is going to be super, super fun. And we're starting a little bit early, which is okay, because one thing about Britt and I is that we both kind of like to talk. We always have we're never short of something to say, right?
Always.
So the fact that we're starting a little bit early is totally fine. But the world of Bare Knuckle.
The wonderful world of Bare Knuckle.
The interesting world of Bare Knuckle.
Yes.
It really is okay. So that's where the idea for this show came from. Is this idea of this brand new sport. It's also a super old sport. Mm-hmm. And those few of us, and it's not just me and Britton, but it's a lot of people,
It's huge.
Or it's really not. It is, but it's not.
It seems huge.
It seems huge. It seems bigger. It's definitely bigger than me.
Right. Yes.
But it's also freakishly a small community.
Yeah.
And so you and I, Britton, were some of the original, for lack of a better word, insiders.
Yes.
In this world. And so that's why we decided to. And you know what? I love Brit. I love Bobo, and some of my absolute favorite people. And there's another one of my favorites. There's okay. This is my friend Jewlz, and my former business partner, Jewlz Gray. And you know what? We're not done. I shouldn't say former. I shouldn't say former. Because we have still have things to accomplish together, and I fully believe that.
Yes, we do.
Absolutely. And but this is Jewlz Gray, and she's a big freaking deal, guys.
Yes, yeah. I agree.
Thank you.
I'm just over here in awe. Like, congratulations, by the way.
Congratulations, Jewlz.
Yes.
And you know what? Are you okay?
I am.
Okay, are you sweating? We talked about
you know what?
the show.
I had to hurry up and take my skates off and get home and hook everything up to get on.
And I knew this coming into the show. I knew that Jewlz. So Jewlz just got done. You were skating. Were you ice skating? Were you roller skating? I knew you were skating. I don't know what kind of skating you were doing. But like just prior to this, roller skating, and like literally, I was on the phone with Jewlz. And there's my lovely sister is the first in the comments. There you go.
Oh, hi, Tiffany.
Hi, Tiffany.
She's great. You guys have no idea. She's the best sister anyone could imagine. Love you, Tiff. But so Jewlz and I were on the phone, and I'm like, "What are you doing?" And she's like,
"There's all kinds of music, you
right?
know,
like it was loud." I'm like, "Are you in a club or what? What's going on?" And she's like, "I'm skating." I'm like, you're actively skating like right now, you know? I'm like, and she's like, yeah. And I'm like, so you have skates on your feet? And she's like, yeah. And I'm like, okay. So you're like, okay, all right. So listen, one of the many talents of Ms. Gray. So anyway, so Jewlz, thank you for joining. We're just talking a little bit about what this show is going to be about, and sort of like the journey that is Bare Knuckle. And so we're not fighters. None of us are fighters, right? But we've all had the privilege and the honor and sometimes the burden. Right?
Say that part one more time, please.
and you know it better than any of us, Britt. And there's my mother, my beautiful mother. Look at that. Look at
Hi, Miss Kohler.
Hi.
Okay. I love my mom. So, Mom, I promise I'm going to try not to say any bad words. If I do, please forgive me.
I have to interject. That's the whole reason he doesn't want to say bad words. It's because of you.
Yeah. I know. He tells me all the time. He's like, well, my mom is going to be on the show.
We just had this conversation.
Well, she watches, and I don't want to embarrass my mother by using bad language because I know that she doesn't approve of it and she doesn't like it. So I got to make Mama happy, you know?
Yes.
Listen.
You raised him right. You raised him right.
It's a fact. Well, by God,
Well,
Jewlz.
well, by God.
We'll get it. We'll get into the by God conversation here in a minute.
Okay.
But okay. So now there's three. Now we are three, right? And three of the people who were in the ground floor essentially of this entire world. And it's an evolving world. It's an evolving culture of bare knuckle. And so I'm going to shut up for a minute because that is a problem for me. Like I'll keep talking.
Nah.
So, all right, let's hear from Jewlz first, and then Britton. Let's just talk for a minute about what has been your experience in this world of bare knuckle as an insider, because Jewlz, there is absolutely no doubt about it. Like, you are an insider, and now more than ever, for goodness sake. I mean, like you're part of the machine now, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And so for those of you who don't know Jewlz Great, listen, she's a big freaking deal. She's
Can we use huge in this sentence?
Yeah, you
Huge
guys.
deal.
She's a huge deal now. Matter of fact, she's part of the executive team as of this past week, and part of the leadership of one of the biggest and most prolific bare knuckle fighting promotions on the face of the earth, which is BYB Extreme Fighting Series. So congratulations to you on your new position. I'm very proud of you. You very much deserve it.
Thank you.
Listen, Jewlz, I've known for a while that you're gonna do big things, and here you are. So take us
Matthew has a
through.
good way of making me cry sometimes.
Oh, he has been bragging. Listen, he has been bragging on you like he was your dad. I mean, he has went on and I'm so proud of Jewlz. Like, he's just super proud of you. He really is, and we all are.
I'm
Thank
incredibly
you so
proud of
much.
Jewlz. Like, listen, Jewlz is one of my very, very, very close friends, and I don't have that many.
Right.
And so there's Brittany Carino in the comment. She will never to watch the show. What's up, Brittany? And check out Brittany, because listen, Brittany is doing her own things in the combat sports world as an announcer, and she's doing a wonderful job. So check out Brittany Carino.
She's killing it.
She's absolutely killing it.
She's rocking some really cool gear whenever she's out there announcing.
She has a really good fashion designer on her side.
Shut up, Brittany. So nice. Yeah,
So-
I went and checked out some of that stuff. Like, she is really rocking it and moving
She
some
is.
mountains. You know, that's definitely
100%. We love to see our friends doing well. But
Absolutely.
what I want to start out with is, Jewlz, I want you to take us through sort of like the good, the bad, and the ugly
of bare knuckle in general, or
of
like
your
the
life as from the time that you entered the world of bare knuckle. And I know that you weren't expecting this, and so I'm sorry.
It's okay.
But
I'm good.
but take us through your experience. What, as a bare knuckle insider, what has your experience been like? For those casual fans who are not insiders yet, but you are now because you're watching this show, right?
Yeah. Yes.
But take us through your experience as an insider from the beginning, from where you started and bring us right to the moment where we're at right now.
Okay. So I guess an easy way of kind of recapping everything is my brother Fred Pierce is a
Now, wait a
fighter
minute.
and has
Wait a
been for
minute.
a while.
Let me stop you. Is he your biological brother?
He is not. I have no biological family.
Okay,
He
all right.
is like an adopted brother. We've known each other for 22 years.
And of course,
my kids call
I
him
knew that.
uncle, and I call him brother.
Right.
Yeah. But he's always been there for me. We lived in the same city, grew up in the same city, the same town, so we have a very extensive background. And since I graduated out of foster care, I aged out, and I had the blessing of being able to choose my own family. And that is a blessing that a lot of people don't get to choose. So I got to choose a lot of really good people and surround myself with them, and got amazing support from them that a lot of people don't get from biological family, so
Yeah.
I'm really blessed in that area. My kids are blessed in that area. And that's what he is to me. But so Fred has been fighting for many, many years, and I've always supported him. I supported him opening a gym, doing a lot of things before bare knuckle even came into play. But when bare knuckle came into play, I started out by sponsoring his camps and stuff. And that's what kind of started integrating me into BKFC in particular. I kind of helped secure some sponsors for him and stuff like that. And then a couple other fighters started noticing that I was doing good with him and marketing him and doing these things. And so it all just kind of, you know, started rolling from there. And I had no idea what I was getting myself into, you know, when I was like, sure, I'll help. Sure, I'll do this. Sure, I'll do that. So for about a year and a half, I really did a lot of stuff completely free, never charged any fighters. None of my fighters on my roster have ever been charged for anything that I've done for them. The immense feeling of helping people that I knew were in position of the way that the fighters are, with so much pressure, so many things going on. They had so much on the table. I really felt that was I had a calling in this business at that time. And especially for the women's division, my heart really went out for women in this sport, because I felt as if a lot of women weren't getting the opportunities that men were in this sport. They weren't getting acknowledged as much. They weren't, you know.
Let me stop you right there, because I really want to agree with you. I just want to, and Britton, I would love to hear your thoughts on this as well, because, you know, we're talking about professional fight cards, and they're, and maybe, and I don't know, like, maybe I'm not as much of an insider in some regards, but look, you have a professional fight card with 10 to 12 fights on the card, right? Mm-hmm. And you might see, if you're lucky, you might see 2 women's fights on a card of 10 to 12. Absolutely. So what's the issue there? And this is again, this is why we're doing this show, is because we want to understand from an insider perspective of why is that? Why is there only
good, bad, and the ugly of it?
20%, you know, at best, 20% female fighters, and I will say, and I think that we can all agree that the female fights are often some of the most entertaining fights that we witness. Right?
They're the best.
Oh, yes. I agree.
Yes.
So why don't we get more?
I'll tell you, they're from the inside, and these are issues I didn't see from the outside when I was trying to secure all these women. I was trying to, like, okay, let's, you know, it's my dream to build an all women's card in the month of October to, you know, support breast cancer awareness. And I've been pushing for that for a couple of years. And so as I started securing all these women, I was kind of like, you know what? It's a lot harder than what it seems. One, the weight classes. You know, I could secure a 150, a 130, a 140, and a 125 all in 1 week, but then I couldn't find them opponents. Or if I could find them one opponent, and I couldn't, you know, and then there was COVID stopping us from bringing overseas fighters. So I hired an attorney to help me do that. And then the attorney started helping me push for all of the work visas and everything like that. And then we had to show proof of where they were going to be living and who they were going to be living with. And invitation letters had to be sent overseas. And I mean, just all of these things started kind of coming down. And I was like, man, this is a lot more work than what I thought it was going to be.
I'm telling you right now.
And then when I did get all of that, and I felt so secure within what I'd done, then I called to get the contract or the fights, and it's like, well, you know, the numbers have to make sense. We have to make sense of these numbers. So women, you know, there would be a stipulation on ticket sales, and women would be like, well, I can't sell that many tickets. I can't do this because I'm a single mom and I work a job and I work 2 jobs and I can't secure that. And I'm like, man, there's just so much that goes into it that make all of the parts move that people don't realize. Social media is a huge thing. I can't tell you how many women that have agreed to fight, but then we put them out there and they're like, well, their social media doesn't make sense. It's not gonna make the fight happen because they don't have enough fans or enough followers.
I want to stop right there. I want to stop you there. Let's talk about that. Right? So, okay. And I understand that the promoters are running a business.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay. And listen, I own multiple businesses. Okay. And I understand that it has to make sense. If it doesn't make dollars, it doesn't make sense. Right.
Mm-hmm. Right.
But there's and you guys can, I want y'all, Brittany, I want you to weigh in on this, but,
okay.
But you get to a place where, as a business person, that you look for opportunities and you look for gimmies, right? And when I say gimme, if you're a golfer, you understand, but if you're not a golfer, then a gimme is an easy win. Okay. And so a female that is, attractive by, normal standards of society with a ton of social media followers, that's an easy win. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's
absolutely for the promotion.
For the promotion, of course it is, because people are going to tune in.
Right.
But here's my question. Is that why people are tuning in? Is it?
I'm sorry, but being a true fighter fan.
Thank you.
I don't want to see anybody prance around the ring and see all their goodies out. I really don't. I just want to see blood and gore. That'd be great. Thank you.
Thank you, my dear.
And
and there's Bobo.
The fact of the matter is, at the end of the day, no matter how we weigh in on it or how we feel about the presence or the need for sex or drama or drugs, those are the things that sell in our society. And sad but true.
It is. I want to debate that here in just a moment. I'm going to let you finish, but I have a counter argument. Go ahead.
So I can honestly say that, that bringing someone to the table who has really strong moral values within their self, and then asking them to do explicit things in order to gain fans is very demeaning.
It's kind of gross. It's kind of gross.
Pretty sickening.
And
I don't like it.
That's my personal opinion. But how it does move them in this sport. Sad but true. It moves them. So that is a very hard balance to secure whenever you're working with women and wanting to focus on women, because I can't tell you how many times I've had a fighter call me crying and say, I don't want to put this picture up of me in this bikini to sell tickets. It's not right.
Hey.
And then but having other ends and other people push for that to be done in order to secure the fight. That's real. It happens in this industry. It happens
100%.
in boxing. It happens in MMA.
Listen, Jewlz, you and I have been on phone calls together as business partners where we've had literally conversations with, not naming any names, but we've had conversations with fight promoters in MMA, boxing, and bare knuckle about, I can't book this fighter because and they wouldn't come out and say this.
They dance around it,
But the inherent message is, I can't book this fighter because she's not marketable, because she's not, listen, she might be pretty, but she needs to utilize that.
Market herself.
She needs to market herself. AKA, she needs to show a little more skin to gain some followers before she can get a fight, which is pretty gross, really.
And I'm sorry, but I just don't understand that, because like when I talk to people, that's not necessarily inside, Bare Knuckle Insiders, but that's not necessarily inside the circle. And I start talking, the first female that has always got brought up, and I've even mentioned this to Bo, is Christine. I mean, she gets brought up because she's so bad. I mean, every female that watches it is like, I want to be her, you know?
mean, right.
So I don't really get it. Like,
I think that I totally agree, and I think that the view. No, Bobo, please don't.
that's no.
I'm not paid to see that.
I just talked to your manager, and that's a no go. That's not gonna happen.
Right. So we've actually had some cool people in the comments and making some posts in the comments. Bobo has been one of them. And listen, Bobo O'Bannon is, if you don't know, you need to look him up. Go follow him on social media. He's one of the top heavyweights in the world of bare knuckle fighting. And all his fights are always exciting. Go check out Bobo O'Bannon.
Oh, super entertaining.
Also my husband.
Right. And also her husband. So you can't love bare knuckle and not love Bobo O'Bannon. But you know, this is a go ahead.
And I just want to throw out there that he's never wore a bikini to get paid.
Right. But I'm telling you,
but he have wore some badass neon socks.
Yes.
Yes.
And if you'll go back and watch the weigh-ins, his weigh-in socks are the best because they have my face all over them.
Right. I was going to say they have your picture on. But no, it's a thing with female fighters, especially that there's a certain level of expectation that you sexualize yourself in order to promote the promotion, you know, for lack of a better term, and to promote the fight and to gain followers on social media. And I understand it's a thing. I get it. But look, I'm a fight fan. I'm a fight fan. And like Britton said, I'm logging in for violence. Okay.
Absolutely.
That's why I'm here. I want to see, and you know what? I don't care. And thank you, Bobo. Bobo just wants to bleed for the fans. I feel like, Bobo, that you really want to make the other guy bleed. And you're not too damn bad at it. Dang it. I just said my
Let me go ahead and mark the tally over here.
Right.
Brush his teeth with liquid soap. That's what I do with my kids whenever they slip.
Dang it. I was trying so hard. But, you know, the thing is that as a fight fan, I don't log on to see that kind of nonsense. And it's not nonsense. I'm a man. All right. I enjoy looking at beautiful women. You know, who doesn't enjoy looking at a beautiful woman, or for that matter, a beautiful person, an attractive person? We all like that. But that's not why I'm here.
Right. And you know, like I honestly, Matthew, you know, I talk to a lot of the guys. Like, I'm a guy's girl, whatever, you know, like Bo has a lot of friends. I have a lot of, you know, male friends in the industry. And honestly, when you talk to them, they're like, why are they doing this? Like, why is she? No. And I mean, a lot of the males in the industry that I've spoke to, they don't really understand it themselves, to be honest, because they want to just see them throw down too, you know, like they don't. I mean, if they want to have, you know, a separate website for that, okay, I'm not judging. But I'm just saying, like, most of the fight fans that I've encountered and guys in the industry, they're like, she's pretty, she's hot, you know, whatever. But we didn't tune in to see her model. We tuned in to see her fight.
Look, there are some beautiful female fighters out there.
Absolutely. One of them is beautiful. We don't have a single unattractive woman on any of the rosters across bare knuckle, as far as I'm concerned. Every single woman that we have is attractive and sexy and appealing in their own way. You know, I've always told every single one of my fighters, find your own angle. Find the angle that makes you comfortable marketing. You know, some of these girls, they might be perfectly fine modeling and doing their thing on the side, and that's great. That's fine.
Good for them, man.
Pressure on my females that aren't comfortable with that.
Right.
Let them go out there and be the
Stop it, Bobo.
Like Christine, she goes out and she's confident being herself. And that alone is a sexy trait. It is a powerful, strong move. You know, for her to stand up and be who she is, no matter the pressure or what anyone else is bringing to
it's a big deal. It's a big deal. And matter of fact, I mean, there was a national media publication that wrote a feature article. And matter of fact, she was on the cover of the magazine. And it gave Christine the opportunity to tell her story and the struggle. And I think that's the first time a lot of people have heard that story.
You know, a lot of people, it's really funny because a lot of people look at fighters and women in particular, and they stereotype exactly who they are. And we all slide into the drama and the, craziness and the emotional roller coaster it is of the buildup of these fights and the adrenaline going and all the fans choosing sides and, all of this. We all fall into that. We do.
Oh my gosh.
I've done it myself.
I've stuck my foot in my mouth more than once.
Oh, I've stuck my foot in my mouth.
Because I spoke emotionally without having the facts first and making myself look silly. But it's an emotional world that we live in.
Mentally challenging.
It's emotional sport. I mean, it's crazy.
This sport is mentally challenging.
Oh my! I mean,
the board.
Yes.
It's an emotional battleground.
And each
ever becomes
fighters are going through their own mental challenges that we all don't know about. All we see is this facade of this beautiful fighter life, and you don't know what's going on at home. I mean, you see all the beautiful, but when you're on the inside and these fighters are calling you at 3 and 4 a.m. and they're like, I'm battling this depressant state. I'm doing this. I don't want to, I'm going to go to jail tonight, or this is going on, or my kid did this, or my wife did this and I can't take it. And what am I going to do? Or this person's talking to me online like this. And you want to give all of them a big hug and tell them it's going to be okay. Because their struggles are just immensely crazy. Like the diet, the sacrifice, the dedication, the work ethics. I mean,
it's nuts.
It's
and you're talking about real people who are doing unreal things.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right?
Like
real
one
humans.
thing that really gets to me all the time that Christine says, and I know I'm not trying to make the show about Christine, but she's one of my best friends, So I always relate to things that she says. Okay. But you're my best friend too, Matthew.
I was going to say.
He's getting seriously hurt over there.
I was getting salty for a minute.
I know. I saw it. But one of the things that she told me is she was like, she holds me to a standard. When I'm around her, like if I have to stay for we go do shootings or whatever, and we have to be there for filming or the crew or whatever.
To be clear, let's take a moment to clarify. You guys are not doing shootings as in shooting people.
No, filming.
Right. Okay,
but listen, we are kind of gangster though.
I mean,
I knew that. That's why
I need to pause to clarify.
Yes,
right, go ahead.
I had to get quiet because I knew that part of you. So I was just like,
I just take a moment to recognize Bobo's in the comments, and
no, we're fine.
He's doing a great job. But listen, I love you, Bobo, and if you see, just watch it. All I'm going to say is, as Bobo comments, please pay attention to Britain's facial expressions.
I'm sorry. That's my best friend in the comments, and I'm like, stop it.
Yeah. But listen, because I'm an insider, I know this. I know more than y'all know, and I ain't going to go into that. But listen, Bobo is working his butt off right now. He's at work. He is at work, and pausing to support his wife. So good on him. And even though he's teasing you right now,
yes. But I have to cut in and say, I was telling him just a minute ago, I was like, I'm kind of panicking, and he's like, "You got this, Mama. You just go in there and tell." He was giving me a pep talk before. So.
Yeah, he is. That's who he is. He's a good dude. He's a good, and he's also really.
Your camera
funny.
presence is always perfect. You should never be nervous about anything. You always bring like the best energy and vibe to
thank
anything
you.
do. Seriously, I've always felt that way about you.
Well, thank you. And I just think you're like,
I
bad,
want you all to know.
But as an insider, I have to say that if you don't know the dynamic of Britton and Bobo's relationship, you might misunderstand.
Oh, they're amazing.
Right?
Yes.
It could be misunderstood, but don't misunderstand. These two people are the best, and they're the best together. So I want to. So sorry to interrupt the dialogue, but I just want to take a moment to recognize that.
Well, thank you.
No, you're good.
I'm not getting emotional over here.
That is one of the things that's also part of this inside world, is that there is so much dedication, sacrifice, and things that these fighters do that they literally lose their relationships. They lose their marriages. They lose their children. They lose things that we don't see because partners can't understand all of the time that's wrapped up in this, all of the work that it takes to make this beast a beast, and for anyone to have a partner who understands and supports their journey within combat sports is a blessing.
It's totally. I mean, you can't call it anything else other than a blessing.
Well, I have like a small bit to admit here, and I don't know if anybody really knows this unless you really know us. When Bo and I first got married, he brought up fighting, and I mean, it was just like casual conversation. And he said, what would you do if I started fighting again? And I said, we'd go to the courthouse. We would be divorced because you would never do that again. No, I would never be around. No, I don't want to do that. That does not sound fun at all. And here we are.
Listen, I've seen you at the fights, and you love it.
I do.
You love it.
I do.
Love it. I know you love it.
It's my happy place.
It's great, and this community is so unique, and there's so many great people. There's also some crappy people, but there really are so many great people. Let's talk about the Hulk. Bobo says also, Corey, thank you. Corey's been super active in the comments, and he's listen. Thank you for your support, Corey. We support all of our supporters as well, and get in our inbox. So what do we need to know about the Hulk, Britton?
I don't. Corey is a good fan of ours. He's great. He's a friend. I don't know anything about the Hulk. I don't.
Okay.
Y'all did say
he's green. He's green.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I know that.
Yeah. Y'all said leave a comment about making Britt blush, and I'm just not okay with these comments that are
he
coming
likes
through.
to smash things. Does that have anything to do with it?
Well, yeah. So, anyways.
All right, I'm done.
When I was a little girl, I had a crush on Hulk Hogan. That was my future husband.
Hogan. Okay. Well, let me tell you something, brother.
I tried to say
okay, so Jewlz. So first of all, I just want to say that the idea of this show came into fruition like what, 15 minutes, 20 minutes before we went on air. So we had a really amazing guest. I'm not going to name any names, but we had a really, really cool and amazing guest who is just somebody that you guys are going to be really excited to talk about. And we're going to have that person on here in the very near future. But it didn't work out. We had them booked and they were not able to appear. And so I hit up my friends because I'm an insider. All right.
Yeah, you're kind of a big deal, I guess.
I'm not at all.
I'm just over here super jealous.
Listen, I had probably there are very few connections that I have that either of the two of you do not have. So this is a small world we live in. Hulk smash. That's right, Corey. He loves it. And I don't even know what this is about. I don't know the inside story on that. I'm not an insider on the Hulk story, but I do know that he likes it. Okay. All right. We're going to keep going.
Anyway. So,
yeah. So, But very shortly before this show aired, we had our really amazing guest who is going to be on the show, just not tonight. That guest had to cancel. So I'm like reaching out to my insider friends. And I said, I need a really cool guest to come on the show last minute. And I'll love you forever if you do this for me. And lo and behold,
ta-da!
we have an amazing guest coming up here in about 5 minutes, just over 5 minutes.
Can I just add too? I have no connection with like a really cool fighter or anything, or I would have helped out.
Oh,
I feel like you do, though.
I think y'all are gonna love this one, though.
I really do too.
Love this one. I love. Can I say him or her? I love them.
You can say him. Yeah, you can say him.
Them. And do you know what? When I called him, he said, "Sure, let me get it. Let me get it over real quick. Just send me a link. Send me a link." I mean, like that.
I love him. I won't say any names, but I love him too. Like he's amazing.
Look, it doesn't get any more insider than this. Okay, if you're not an insider, you cannot book people like this on short notice. And so, thank you, Jewlz, because you are truly an insider. And now, again, you're part of the machine. Okay, and you're a big part of that machine.
I'm very, very excited to be a part of all of this. And
yes,
you know, someone yesterday tagged me in a post and they said, "Congratulations coming over to the winning team." And that kind of hurt my heart a little bit. And my response to that was exactly what I've been responding to everybody who's been asking me about, you know, why move? Why did this? What's going on? And it's that there's no sides in this to me. There's absolutely no sides.
Fair.
What is in this game to me is a goal. And my goal is to grow the women's division in bare knuckle, period, across the board.
So you want to,
no matter who offers me that opportunity,
right?
I am going to bring that to the table. I'm going to get it done. I'm going to get shine in the women's division, and we're going to have a all women's card. And I don't care what promotion it's on, but it's going to happen because that's my goal. And
I think we all know a ring announcer for the all women's card, by the way.
I mean,
which would be awesome.
I feel like it could, like a female ring announcer would be fire for an.
And then I think we have some male ring boys, right? We could have ring boys,
right?
Like just flip it off.
Oh, look,
y'all are petty. You're so petty for that. So petty.
It is.
God, y'all should let me fuck with y'all backstage. Jesus.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce to you the one, the only, the undisputed heavyweight bare knuckle champion of the world, Mr. Arnold Adams. Welcome to Bare Knuckle Insiders. Thank you so much for being here, my man. Listen, I know it was short notice, and so you're doing us a favor by being here, so thank you so much.
No problem. But you don't have to cut me in just yet. I wanted to mess with y'all backstage while y'all finish.
They didn't want to have to deal with you.
So Jewlz is. So I want to get your take on this. I want Arnold. I want to hear what your thoughts are. And so Jewlz is kind of laying out her vision for the women's division in this sport.
Okay.
She doesn't care what promotion it's in. And listen, I'm just going to take a moment. Before I say, I have a question for you, but I just want to take a moment and just say, this is what I'm talking about. Okay. So short notice, Jewlz over here was able to get the heavyweight champion of the world to agree to come on and talk to us who are like, we're nobody. Okay. This is our debut show. So thank you for being our first guest as a fighter. And this is a big deal for us, man. So thank you for being here. It's an honor. It's a pleasure. And but that's why we call this show Bare Knuckle Insiders, because look, we make a call. Oh, okay.
I got you, Bobo.
He's the best. But we truly are. Look, we get shit done. So, dang it, that's two. I said I wasn't going to
I'm marking it. Got it.
Oh, okay.
Good luck.
All right. I'm trying so hard. But I want to get your take on this conversation about the women's division. That's Jewlz's goal. That's why she came into this. That's one of the primary reasons that she came into this sport was to grow the women's division, regardless of what the promotion is, whatever she has to do, and whoever she has to work with. She's going to raise women up in this sport.
Okay.
So, what are your thoughts on the women's division? Across the sport, regardless of promotion, would you like to see more? Have we seen enough? What are the barriers? Just all of it. Let's hear what the champ has to say on the women's division.
I like the women's division. I'm not too familiar with the other promotions, but from what I've seen, the women don't back down. They keep pressing forward. They take their beating and they keep coming forward until that final bell rings. The women are a lot stronger than the men from what I've been seeing.
I mean,
in most cases.
They put on some really entertaining fights.
Yep. They never
Straight
back
up.
down.
They
never
don't.
back down.
Like, okay, you look at these guys fight. You look at the men fight. And how many times do you see somebody just take a knee and say, okay, I'm good? Now, I'm not judging anybody because I haven't been in. I have not walked it. I've never fought bare knuckle inside. Now, in life, okay, yeah, of course. Who hasn't been in a scrap or two? But inside in a competitive environment, I've never went head to head with another man, another human being with no gloves on, and said, okay, whoever gets knocked out first wins, okay, or whoever quits. I mean, it's pretty intense what you guys do, really.
Getting set up here.
But there have been a number of men who have just said, okay, that's enough. I'm done.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen any of the women do that?
No. Even going back to, I think it was Knucklemania. Not Knucklemania. There was a fight, and a soccer mom got in there.
Yes.
And went 5 rounds. There it is. Say the name again.
Audra Cummings.
Audra, yes.
Cummings. She went 5 rounds, never had a bare knuckle fight. I don't think she's had any fights at all, if I'm not mistaken. And she kept pressing forward. Matter of fact, she fought
Crystal Pittman.
Rugged Beauty.
Yeah.
Crystal Pittman. I remember nicknames better than real names, but she fought Crystal Pittman, and Crystal was rocking her. She kept pressing forward. Never said, I'm done with this. This isn't for me. I was like, yo, for her not to have no experience, she has major balls. If that's
proverbially speaking, right?
Right.
But you're absolutely right, and that's the thing. Like these women, they do not stop. And Crystal Pittman and Audra Cummings, if you are watching this show, or if you should happen to watch it later, we'd love to have you both come on and talk about this fight and tell your story. But 100%, I mean, Audra had it. I think that was her professional combat sports debut. Am I right, folks?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like they were calling her a soccer mom.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and for her to come
really
on.
was. I mean, she had never had an amateur fight before.
Right. So you better think twice.
Never had an amateur fight.
when you messed with the mom who's enthusiastic on the soccer field, okay?
Yeah.
Right? Because she might just mess you up. Right?
I've been trying to tell Arnold that for a while now. So.
And that's the thing. You look at these women fights, and oh my gosh, look at Starling and Segala. That one. Look at
that was great.
Britton and Van Zant. Hart and Van Zant.
That was a great fight.
Oh my gosh!
Listen,
amazing.
Look, guys, a lot,
especially with Britton coming in as the underdog, and and then she just showed out. Like all her heart was out there. You could tell that was just
100%
one of the biggest fights of her career, and you just felt it. They were not giving up. No matter what, these women do not stop.
They don't. And I know professional fighters with 15, 20 fights who gave up, took a knee, tapped in, backing up. All of the things the women aren't doing, I've seen grown men who have a fighting career do in bare knuckle.
Like,
and I don't want to say
like guys that are considered tough guys.
I don't want to say it's offensive, but perfect example of that is look at Chop Chop and Reggie.
Right.
That fight, and Chop Chop just
like, I'm good.
As he's sitting in the corner, he's like,
nope.
Done.
Yeah, and this is a world-class boxer. He's been in there with some of the top names.
Right. Mm-hmm. And I mean, you're talking about a consummate professional combat sports athlete who spent a lifetime competing at the highest level that you can.
Yeah.
That came into this and was just like, and got a taste of it against, one of the, in my opinion, Reggie Barnett is one of my favorite fighters to watch, because he's always coming to fight. Win, lose, or draw, Reggie's coming to fight you, and he's talented and he's skilled, and he came with it, and Chop Chop just said no.
One thing I want to say is, Arnold, I love that you go in there and from the non-fighting aspect, but I remember when you first walked in and you took the mic from, who was it? It was one of the media guys.
Brian Social.
Brian, yeah.
Yes, Brian
Social.
He loves to play that clip, by the way. He loves to play
why
that
didn't
clip.
you interview me? This is my time. Like, why aren't you talking to me? And I was like,
enough's enough, that's why.
Because you're not just the straight and narrow. And then in the middle of the press conference, you put David Feldman on the spot and you were like, we all want to know, when is Christine going to be in this tournament? Because it's the things where nobody wanted to talk about them, but AJ's like, I'm here. I'll talk about it.
Well, the Brian Social thing. The Brian Social thing. He did an interview with Marcel Stamps and Joey, and he addressed Joey as the first ever bare knuckle heavyweight champion. And that was, everyone who wasn't following the sport knew that was a lie and that was wrong. And I felt, one, disrespected by Brian, because this is your job to know this stuff and you didn't know it. And then two, right. I felt disrespected by Joey because you agreed with it knowing damn well you weren't the first. Right. And then on the Ferreira situation, I just felt like we were in the same boat. Like we had been shelved. We were one of the first champions, and then we just kind of got pushed off to the side and put on the back burner. So,
and I think that's part of this. I think that's part of this world. That's part of the insider world that a lot of people don't understand is that, listen, guys, there are so much, like for all of you guys watching this who are not like, don't live in this world and don't work in this world. There's so many things that go on behind the scenes that probably y'all will never, you see one side of things, and that is, okay. Yeah. So, and speaking of which, I do have a message for you, Mr. Adams, from a friend of mine. You probably know who it is. But I'll share that with you here in a moment.
Okay.
But there are so many things that go on behind the scenes in this world that we live in that most people will never know about.
Nope.
And some of it's awesome and some of it's really gross.
Yep.
Right? So that's why Brittany and I decided to start this show, because we're like,
he hasn't.
Look.
I'm responding to the comments.
Right. Brittany Carino says, as the opponent signed the contract, and apparently no is the champ's answer.
Yep. As a 5 p.m. today.
Wait, like the rest of us, Brittany. Right. None of us in a little taste of it yet.
Right. But Brittany, is that not why we started this show?
Absolutely.
Is because we felt like, guys, like we want people to know some of these things that happen behind the scenes that people don't even have. People have no idea. The casual fan has no clue what's going on behind the scenes, and we feel like they should, because there's an entire story there that I think people would be interested in. So that's
absolutely. And I mean, even like, I know a lot of people probably think he's like a really big meanie, Arnold, and he's so funny. I love him. He's like my favorite heavyweight there is. I don't know if a better one.
Sorry, Bobo. Sorry.
I mean,
I just know that like his fan base would increase even more. Like if they just had a little bit more time, just like right now, getting to know him. I mean, I hate saying this in front of him because I'm trying to get him to get in the ring with me. But we absolutely, I absolutely fell in love with Arnold Adam. You can ask Bobo. We both did. And even our kids, like when they play fight, they pretend to be Arnold Adams. I mean, he's wonderful. And I just feel like our show is going to help people get to know the fighters a little bit more and hopefully even build their fan base a little bit more.
Right. We want to know about you. We want to know your story. We want to know,
absolutely,
what's the good, the bad, and the ugly of your experience in this industry. And we want the fans to know that, and that's the point of this show. So to come back to what I was saying just a minute ago. So as you know, and you're very well aware, Mr. Adams, that and I call you Mr. Adams because I don't want you to beat me up when you see me. So I'm being respectful. Because I don't know you. I don't know you that well, so I don't know what's going to offend you and what's not. But I know Bobo and I know some other fighters, so I know how I can talk to them. But I don't know you well enough to know how can I.
I'm cool.
What's the dynamic of our conversation?
I'm relaxed. I'm pretty flexible. I don't too much get under my skin.
I mean, you and I have had some. We've gone back and forth on social media. I don't know if you remember that. I do.
Probably don't.
And I'm sorry. Number one.
Okay. I bet you are.
Especially if I see you in person, I'm definitely sorry.
Yeah.
But so I got into this business as an insider, as the business manager for a close friend now of mine. But a guy that I went to high school with started competing in BKFC 1 and had the highlight reel knockout. His name is Sam the Hillbilly Hammer.
Oh, yes, I do. Now it's coming back.
So now you know who I am, right?
I do.
And we've gone back and forth, but I've always been respectful to and when you and I have disagreed, in our exchanges, I've even said, look, man, I respect you. I think you're talented. I think you're a good fighter, but I got to pick my guy.
Sam's my guy. I understand it. No,
right.
I got you.
So of course, I'm gonna pick Sam. And by the way, I spoke with Sam like 5 minutes prior to the beginning of this show, and he has a message for you. If you want to hear it,
come on.
If you're interested. Okay.
Or you say it, or whatever the case may be.
All I need to say is that Sam wanted me to tell you that he's coming for you.
Okay. I'll be here, Sam. It's evident these belts won't be leaving my hands anytime soon. I'll be ready for you. We've had talks about a rematch and how things will go. So when you get your ball rolling, we can have that dance again.
So how do you feel about that rematch? Are you ready to take on anybody? I mean,
I honestly am. I honestly am.
Do
that
you feel...
rematch in.
Go ahead. Continue.
I was going to say that rematch with Sam. The first time we fought, I showed him a lot of respect because of the Eric Prindle knockout, and I was like, "There's no way in hell I'm going to be on his highlight reel going to sleep." The next time we fight, I won't have the same respect for him. Just like the first time I fought Joey, I gave him respect because of who he was. The second time, I came straight in for the kill. And then I had to realize, tone it down. He has great cardio. You don't want to lose this in the later rounds.
Right. Well, I mean, Joey, and that's kind of that's Joey's thing, though. He just drags you into deep water, man. He's like, I have respect for Joey. I do.
Without a doubt.
Right. But I think that you were wise in respecting Sam's one punch knockout ability. I mean, you'd be ridiculous to say that he doesn't have it. I mean, but you have to respect any man that is the size of you guys that are that size.
Right.
I mean, like if you're a heavyweight fighter, good Lord, I mean, you're a large man, right?
That's true. That's very true.
And so in any man that size, I mean, it's physics, right? If you hit somebody at the right place and have the right timing, then it's lights out, and it doesn't even have to be a good shot. So you have to be careful, right? You have to be careful.
I see that Taylor Sterling's watching, and they were talking about her wanting to come on and talk. So I'm sure we would love to have you on.
Well,
come on, B, what's up? Killer B.
Send a link to the Killer B. Come on, Taylor. What are you doing? We're waiting on you. Let's go.
I don't know.
We have the Killer B on.
That's not the Killer B.
I'm guys. I don't mean to be a buzzkill, but in 2 minutes we have the Growl Show that's going to be starting off with Strange Pie. So, any further questions for the heavyweight champion?
We have 2 minutes. How much time do we have?
2 more minutes. Any last questions or words for the heavyweight champion of the world?
So, there we go. The producer. Listen, that's the boss, man. So, listen, if David says it, it's gospel. In this world.
The boogeyman is the boss. He's on our show. I mean, I'm not going to
listen. If we're all in the same room, he's definitely the boss. But in this world, it's on you. But so all right. So thank you for the heads up, David, and our amazing producer, who put all this together. Now he's gone. But David Potter, who organized all this entire relaunch, and listen, I'm having fun with this. I think this show's gone well so far. I'm enjoying it. This is our first show, so we're gonna leave off with our 2 guests. So we'll start with Jewlz, and then we'll finish with the heavyweight champ himself, the undisputed champ, not just champ, right? It's champ, right?
Champ. I like that.
Right, because it's champ, because you're
2-time champ,
right? Your BKFC, well, in your case, it's champ, because you're BKFC champ, you're Police Gazette champ.
Ah, okay, I got you.
That's why I say champ, because it's champ. All right, so Jewlz, closing thoughts from Jewlz.
He's coming to kick us
out. No. I was just saying that Taylor Sterling has been trying to comment on the video in our talk to the heavyweight champion of the world and Britain and Matthew. So sorry.
Okay, well, Taylor, if you are watching, it would be our honor to have you on. Let's get in our inbox. Let's bring you on. We would love to talk to you.
She just messaged me and said that she would like to come on, but it's been blocking her comments for some reason.
She can't come on unless she posts my name in the back of her OnlyFans.
What?
Can we get Taylor Sterling to come on the next show? You guys are the boss. Can we get the heavyweight champion to come on for a full show?
Taylor,
we'll do that.
Okay, so Arnold, help us get Taylor on here. Taylor, we would love to have you. You're more than welcome anytime. And Arnold, thank you very much for coming on. Jewlz, closing thoughts, and then Arnold, closing thoughts. Ready to go.
I have nothing. Just pass it on to Arnold and let's hear from his sponsors.
Well, thank you, Jewlz, for coming on and giving us your insider knowledge and perspective. Champ,
Absolutely.
What do you got?
Jewlz, thanks for calling me about coming on to the interview. To my next opponent, sign the contract so we can start promoting this and getting this ball rolling. Or if not, move over and let the next guy step up. Sponsors, Jardine or Hardine, I don't know how to say it. I got a sponsor out in Vegas. No one else has really agreed to this fight on sponsorship wise. So the people who sponsored me before, the Fighter's Friend, Just Blaze Clothing. I want to shout out you guys for having me on. We'll get this together for the next show, and it'll be a little bit better. This is like last minute, so my mind's all over the place right now.
Well, thank you for coming on, my man, and
Thank you.
and help us get Taylor on, because Taylor, she's one of the biggest stars in this sport, and we very much enjoy promoting the women's division, and that is all I have as an insider. And I want to give last thoughts of the day. Give us closing words from Britton O'Bannon, my beautiful co-host.
Thank you all for coming on, and I just want to let the boss man know it is Matt's fault that we went over time. That's all.
Sorry, bro.
We make exceptions. We make exceptions. When he comes on the show, we gotta go overtime. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, Champ. Thank you, Jewlz. Thank you, Britton. Thank you, David.
Thank you.
And this is Bare Knuckle Insiders. Tune in next week at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, and we'll see you then. Join us for the Insiders.
All right, boys and girls, children of all ages, thank you very much, Brayden. Thank you very much, Matt. Thank you very much, Champ. It's an honor for you to come on. And Jewlz, coming up next, we got the Gal Show. We got Strange Pie coming up.
You don't want to miss it. It's going to be
the
cool.
Great, the mighty Allie Marie.
What's up, Allie?
Maria.
Hey,
how you guys doing?
Good.
Oh, I cursed again.
Why do you guys tell me the wrong name?
Eternity.
You got Miss Sambo in the house.
Listen, you guys don't want to miss this girl show. It's going to be super entertaining. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's probably going to be a little weird. And there's Karen.
We got Karen. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, tune in. Here's a brief word from our sponsors. But we have the girl show coming up with Karen, Sambo, and Ali. Screened by the first episode. You guys excited?
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Hell yeah. All right, Matt, thank you very much. There is a brief word from our sponsors, and let's go to Screen By with Ali, Sambo, and Karen. See you in a